Hello, I'd like to talk to you now a little bit about the Warsaw Pact and NATO. Right, before we begin, NATO is created in 1949, which is a key year in the study of the Cold War. As you know already, it's the year of the Berlin Blockade, which was pretty much the final nail in the coffin of the Grand Alliance. It's the breakup of any peaceful or friendly relationships between America and Russia. Now there's no pretense, they just don't like each other. So, there's Berlin Blockade. As a consequence of the Berlin Blockade, East and West Germany are both created. The USSR had tested its own atomic bomb, so now America had lost this nuclear superiority. Remember, that had scared Russia greatly, and the Americans didn't expect Russia to create a nuclear bomb, an atomic bomb, for years to come. And they really dragged it and really pulled out all the stops and created this bomb way ahead of time. Now suddenly there was nuclear parity. That means they're both equal. Sorry about that. In addition to this, a guy called Mao Zedong in China, don't worry about the name, there are loads of different ways of spelling it, just say the communists took over in China. Now, this greatly worried America because this was evidence of the further expansion of communism throughout the world. And remember, following a policy of containment, trying to stop the spread, but it is growing. And America was scared about this thing called a domino theory, which was the idea that if one country becomes communist and falls to communism, the country next to it will become communist, and that will topple, and the next one will become communist, and before you know it, the whole of East Asia is communist. As had happened in Europe, Russia had become communist, and then you'd got this domino effect of all these European countries in the Eastern Bloc following. So, Berlin Blockade, East and West Germany created, China became communist, Russia had tested its own atomic bomb, and NATO was created. Quite an important year, as you can see. So, causes. If you get a question on the causes of NATO, take it, because it's a really easy question. It's all the above things, and basically you need to sum up what the consequence of those events was. And very simply, increased fear on both sides. Okay, they both become scared, especially after the Berlin Blockade. I mean, America saw this as clear evidence of Soviet aggression and a threat towards Western Europe. And it was the first military confrontation of the Cold War. So America becomes fearful of communism, very worried, and Russia becomes fearful as well. So, that's it really, easy. I told you it was an easy one. The events of NATO, equally similar, equally easy as well. It started in April 1949, directly after Stalin lifts the Berlin Blockade. NATO is set up. It stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It's an alliance between the USA and Western European countries. Britain, France, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Belgium, Denmark, Holland, Norway, Greece, Turkey, and key in 1955, West Germany joins. That's very important because it does lead to the Warsaw Pact. So it's 13 countries join. What was NATO? Well, it was an alliance between these countries, and basically it was an agreement. If one of them was attacked, they would all pile in. Okay, sounds similar? Triple Entente, Triple Alliance. Essentially, to get you a few extra marks as well, actually, hopefully, NATO is the Truman Doctrine in action, containing the spread of communism. Easy events. The results, there are a few results of NATO, just learn these and just reel them off, easy. Now, while the Marshall Plan was a trading or an economic alliance, the NATO is military. Okay, it's a defence for the West against communism. Now, in 1955, as I said earlier, West Germany joins. Now, as you know from previous ones of these, if you've been watching, Russia was extremely scared about another invasion from Germany, and suddenly West Germany has joined an alliance against communism. They see this as really quite threatening, and so as a consequence of West Germany joining in 1955, the USSR creates its own version of NATO, and that's known as the Warsaw Pact. Now, it was 8 countries, I think it was, joined together. Similar deal, if they're attacked by the West, they'll all pile in together. It's Russia, Poland, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Romania, Bulgaria, Albania, and East Germany. I think I've got them all there. Now, very interestingly as well, the Soviet Union, the Warsaw Pact gave Russia, or the USSR, even more control over Eastern European states. And it led to the stationing of Soviet troops in those Eastern European states, which incidentally makes their crushing of the Hungarian uprising even easier to do. All right, but that's in a later one. So, what you've basically got is the world divided into two armed camps. NATO, capitalist, Warsaw Pact, communist. They're ideologically opposed, and now they're in alliances together and facing each other. And what we're seeing now is an escalation of tension between these two superpowers. And obviously that's going to culminate in something. You can't have all this pressure building up and up and up and then it just disappear. So you'll see some various events, which is the second real part of your course, on three crises of the Cold War. Now they will be the Hungarian uprising, the Cuban Missile Crisis, and the Berlin Wall. And they are because of this increased tension between the superpowers. Okay, easy peasy. Bye.